Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Play Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen. This is our first real honest-to-goodness legit, no hand-holding fight. Well, I say no hand-holding. The people in the towns and temples are gonna do a little bit of hand-holding. So, here in the border of Sharam, we've got 2 cities to find, 1 temple and 1 treasure. Our neutral encounters include dragons, hawkmen, and golems. And we'll kind of get more into those later. Dragons are pretty dang good. Hawkmen, I think, are excellent. And golems are pretty darn good. But dragons and golems are large units. Any unit you put together can have 5 small characters or 1 small and 2 large. So you kind of got to decide, is it worth losing potentially 4 attacks to have larger units? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. This is also the first episode we're going to get pretty heavy into our editing. Tower's not a great card. Don't care for Tower. Tower drops our alignment. And we'll kind of talk about alignment a little later in this stage, I do believe. When used in battle, Tower will do... It's not really earth damage, but yeah. So we can shop in this town. We got to be careful with the money we spend, because if we spend too much, we can't deploy units, and that's bad. Cure and heal restore hit points. Cure does 50, heal does 100. The bell is a dinner bell, sends any unit you pick back to the home base. Revive revives a dead unit, and summons will send every deployed unit on the map to the position of the opinion leader. So wherever we have Destin, if we use a summon, everybody ploops over to Destin. Now that says it creates an earthquake. Yes and no. There's not like earth element attacks in this game. Basically what it means, though, is if the enemy is flying, it's not going to get hurt. Now, this is a good card. It is the opposite of the Tower card. When used in battle, it will put the enemies to sleep. So, this one. Both units moving, you fight halfway. If one of them is not, you'll fight on the ground that the unit is not. We get an advantage based on where we're standing. What happens if we can't kill anybody? If we do more damage than they do, we win. Damage done with tarot cards doesn't count. Any enemy killed with a tarot card, the experience points from that kill goes towards the unit leader, which is a really good way to overlevel your opinion leader way early in the game. So we've got a Griffin in this unit, and that lets him just kind of get around and move quick. But this is not a unit that's going to see a lot of fighting. Their job is just go and find stuff. Okay. Dropping Warren's unit off there for just a moment. We will deploy Marjorie, and they're going to go there. There's a reason we're dropping Warren off, and you will see why here in a minute. Warren is a wizard. Wizards are generally low alignment units. People don't like having their towns liberated by low alignment units. That's a good one. We like the reputation going up. So it's but I will say low alignment units usually will do more damage than high alignment units. So one tip, trick, tactic, strategy, whatever you want to call it, have a high or neutral alignment unit liberate a town, and then plunk a low alignment unit on it. A little bit of history about the temples, not a big deal. Lovers. It's a charm. Not to be confused with the charm item, which is also in this game that does something different.
Liberation.
Okay, world. Anytime you draw the world card during a battle, any tarot card that you draw after that will affect every unit of yours on the map, whether that be good, bad, or ugly. When used in battle, the world card puts a magic shield on your party. Very, very useful to have in a couple of different boss fights. And fighting time. Here's where we're going to start experiencing where the majority of the editing comes in. So lands here, by default, likes to attack the strong units. We're not going to worry too much about that at the moment. Lands and 2 fighters in the front row, they each get 2 attacks, and 2 wizards in the back row, they get 2. So that's a total of 10 for our unit. The enemies there have the 1 fighter in front, he gets 2 attacks, and their knight and fighter in the back row only get 1. Their knight is a different color from Lands because Lands is a special character. Just like Warren, the wizard, is a different color than any wizard that you're going to recruit or have somebody turn into. We'll get more into that as it becomes more likely. Nightmare is a dark element spell. Evil, it's called in this game. We beat them, so we knocked them back, and they got knocked into Cassim's unit. Cassim beat them, knocked them back again. Now, when it said, try and position yourself on land that you're best suited to, it's the movement land, so lands is plains, so blah. That is a Hellhound, or a Heckhound. They're weak to lightning. They get 3 attacks in the front row. They generally have a pretty good attack stat. They are, Tornado is physical, not wind. Wind is not an element in this game. They get 3 attacks in the front row, Hellhounds. They also move best in the mountains, which is why you'll probably never ever see me use them, because there's really never a situation where you're gonna want to move really, really fast in the mountains and really slow everywhere else. Wizards have access to fire, ice, lightning, physical, and dark. There is another element, the light or holy or white element. Wizards don't get access to that. They trend down the path of evil. So Warren, being a wizard, and Warren being a special wizard, is a different color than the regular wizards. That is a giant. Giants are kind of big knights. Well, maybe not even big knights. They're like a giant beastman, I guess. And those guys with the whips are beastmen. They get 2 attacks, front or back row. And they're okay. Warren, being a special class, his intelligence trends upwards more than most other wizards, so his spells are pretty powerful. You can change Warren into any class you want, you can change lands into any class you want, but they really are kind of built for what you get them as, so I don't recommend doing that. Pardon me. I'll drop Warren off there and just kind of let things play out for a minute. Now, if this is a unit we've already fought like we saw last time, I'm not going to make you sit through it. There are multiple of each unit that will show up in any given stage for enemies. The amount varies depending on the stage. Early on in the game, there aren't as many. Later on in the game, there's more. Fortune will raise or lower your reputation by 1, 2, or 3 points at random. When used in battle, it makes the enemy run away. You can only hold so many, so we gotta choose. Are we gonna get rid of Fortune or get rid of something else? Now, I don't particularly care for the Tower card or the Devil card, so we'll get rid of those. So this is a dialogue that will change depending on who you picked as your opinion leader. If you would have picked a female class to be the leader, the message at that town would have been, you know, you're just a woman under all that armor. Those are Amazons and a cleric. Clerics are the healers of the game. Amazons are the female version of fighters. They're not quite as physically powerful, but they're a little more agile. In the front row, they only get 1 attack. In the back row, they get 2. Clerics will heal twice in the back row or attack twice from the front row. And clerics are very, very important. Not only are they the only healers, they're the only unit who innately, at least early on in the game, can destroy the undead. Spoilers, there are undead in this game. And we won't be seeing them for a little bit. Clerics are generally higher alignment units. Killing one will lower your alignment. Wizards are generally low alignment units. Killing one will generally raise your alignment. All the weird pauses that you're going to see when the dialogue boxes pop up are because when I record these, I record them sped up because these battles take a while. There are some unedited episodes that I've got to do towards the end of the game that are 2+ hours. So instead of me playing one single stage for 2.5 or 3 hours, I get that down to an hour and then just do a lot of editing. That's better for everybody. All right. We win. I'm waiting for Marjorie's unit there to kind of make some progress. We're going to send lands back. Another thing people don't really like is a bully. So if you have an average enemy level of, say, 4, but you have a unit whose level is, say... I'll get into that in a minute. If you have a unit whose average is, say, 8, people aren't going to feel too good about you. So level 5 is just a little higher than we want. Depending on your charisma, alignment, and level, that determines who you can or cannot turn into. So if we turn him into a wizard, he can do a beastman, a doll mage, or a wizard. We haven't seen a doll mage yet. Doll mages are interesting characters. They're kind of like wizards, kind of not. They only get 1 spell from the back row, and it's the acid spell, which is a physical attack. But that attack hits the entire enemy party, or targets it, anyway. I'm going to move Elnoa up here, because Elnoa hasn't seen any action this entire stage. So we kind of want to push one unit out until they get a little strong, and then pull them back and send someone else out. Here we have a Valkyrie, and one of them are Griffins. Griffin in the front row gets 2 attacks, and it's like a headbutt kind of thing. There's acid. Valkyries in the front get 2 physical attacks. In the back, they will cast Bolt twice. Griffins in the back row have a Gale attack, which is a wind attack that targets the entire party. We've seen a wizard cast the Tornado spell. Acid is the multi-target version of that. And some monsters will have access to similar spells. Some characters will have access to similar spells that are different. Okay, so here's a new one on us. We beat the leader, but we didn't clear out the unit. So that unit is going to go back to the enemy base and revive the leader to be deployed again. If that happens to one of our units, oh, see there, we lost. We didn't get super wrecked, but we lost. If that happens to one of our units, that unit will ignore any orders we give it, and it will head back to base. You can fix that by reviving the leader, or by making someone else the leader. This is a witch and an octopus. Witches in front have 2 attacks, and in the back they have 2 stun spells, which will target the entire party. There you go. Anybody stunned cannot attack. Unless you use a tarot card to revive them, or sometimes they can get hit with a physical attack, and that will wake them up. Octopus in the front get 4 attacks, and in the back get 2. And of course they move best in water. You don't see a lot of them, but they can get annoying. So stun can be very annoying as well, as you might imagine. Pardon me.
Write it out.
Ooh, that was a bad edit. We found a city.
Find out.
Best way to find hidden cities, temples, towns, and treasures is if it looks suspicious, investigate it. Treasures are hidden on the map, but they take the same amount of space as a city or a temple. Chariot is a physical damage card. Get rid of 1 Hierophant card. Usar is the guy who's in charge here, but we haven't met Usar yet, so... Chariot. There it is. Loki comes down with a hammer, like he does. And we liberated the final city on the map.
Liberation.
When this happens, the sun card changes it from night to day. There's a moon card, changes it from day to night. The sun card deals damage to both units in battle, and it is dependent on alignment. The lower your alignment, the more damage you will take. If you are doing an evil run, maybe don't use it with your opinion leader. You will die. This is talking about what happens if a leader is killed, a unit leader. High alignment helps you fight better during the day, low is better at night. Obviously put stronger units in front, weaker units in back. So tribute, all the money we got from towns, minus pay for everybody. There you go. All characters. Now that says with a low alignment, but that's a little misleading. If your alignment's really high, you will take no damage. If your alignment's really low, you'll take a ton of damage. And then there's a varying level of damage in between high and low. It's not just like 50 and under take damage.
Write it out.
It's everybody.
Write it out.
There will come a point in these where we've fought one of every unit. We don't have anything else to do, like right here, where we just cut out me just waiting for everybody to get wiped out. So you don't figure this out unless you just try it the first few times, but there are specific units in your army that will give you specific dialogue when you go to fight the boss. We want lands to fight Usar. And this will happen. Low-life scum. Usar is a wild man, which is basically a berserker. It's the evil version of a knight. Gets 2 attacks in the front row, 2 in the back row. Crap all for agility, but really good attack, really good defense. all we have to do to finish a boss fight is kill the boss. So we're just going to switch our tactics over to leader and just hope we get him. Missing doesn't help. They may not have a lot of agility, but right now we're so low leveled, we don't have a lot of agility. Aw, he died. But so did Usar, so we win! If a unit dies, you can leave them dead to the end of the stage. They will be revived at no cost to you. You can take any unit to a temple and get your units revived. It is generally cheaper throughout average-wise through the course of the game just to buy some revives, because it gets very expensive to revive units at temples later on. So we won. Here's our gold. You might notice we've got about 3 minutes left in the video because we're going to look at the map. We have a new area opened up. Let's see if anybody can change class. Doesn't look like it. So I ain't gonna worry too much about that. But that one person said we could go back to other areas that we've cleared. So let's go back to Sharam for a minute. There may be something interesting here. And again, there's really not a lot in the game that is going to direct you to this. You just have to try it. And we're going to send Takat out. And we are looking for... Here. Okay, good. I think we're good. We're good. Hi, Batista. Okay. Sounds good, right? Don't forget it. That's going to be a thing that doesn't happen for a long time. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. So here they tell us about Falsala, an incredible treasure, a true hero. Well, we have a thing that says we're a true hero. We got it at the temple on the other end of the map. A gnomish nugget. There's nothing actually spectacular about the nugget. We just sell it for dollar bills, y'all. There's a lot of things in the game that are basically just to be sold. Now, if you hang out on a map long enough for noon to come back around, you will get a tribute, but you'll also have to pay your army for hanging out. Here's where we're looking at population, alignment, all that kind of stuff. I generally don't pay attention to it. Just my playstyle, doesn't matter. So if you hang out too long, you're gonna get billed, and it actually hurts your reputation. So try not to do that. Let's save, and I'll see you guys next time.